Even before our children are born, we have expectations and goals that we want them to accomplish in their life. We usually picture our children participating in the same things we loved doing as a child: baseball, basketball, football, soccer. But what happens if you have a child with special needs? Your desire for their success doesn't change. You still want them to experience the joy that sports once brought you, being part of a team and making lifelong friends. Some of you have never given this a thought or thought that this could be you or your child, um, that your child would be considered the different one or the special one, but statistically it could be. How many families do you think are raising a child with special needs in America? 1 in 500? 1 in 100? According to the U.S. Census Bureau, it's 1 in 26 families in America. More than 54 million men, women, and children have a physical, sensory, or intellectual disability. These statistics were startling to me when I read them. Considering that I would estimate our class size, what I would estimate our class size to be, it's safe to bet that at least one person has to deal with this issue in one form or another just in our class alone. My purpose is just to inform you about an organization that not only around the world makes special needs athletes a priority, but also locally. This organization is the Special Olympics. They have been changing lives for over 45 years. Eunice Kennedy Shriver has been the driving force behind the Special Olympics movement, which started as a summer camp in her backyard back in the 1950s, when she realized how unfair people with intellectual disabilities were treated because her own sister herself had an intellectual disability. Her goal was to learn what these children could do in sports and other activities and not dwell on what they could not do. After a study in 1958 by Dr. James Oliver of England, he confirmed that physical exercise and activities for children with intellectual disabilities had positive effects that carried over with the children into the classroom. Ms. Shriver worked even harder to expand her ideas. She wanted them to be larger than even before, and in July 1968, the first Special Olympics Summer Games were held. Through the years of increased awareness and funding and volunteers, there are now over 200 events total offered for competitors. Following in the footsteps of regular Olympics, the Special Olympics also had Olympic torch. The carrying of the torch itself is one of the many unique opportunities that individuals, businesses, and organizations have to support local Special Olympic athletes. The torch is carried to the opening ceremonies by a running event led by law enforcement, who have become a large part of the fundraising efforts for Special Olympics. Many funds are provided by donation and individual sponsors to each runner. Additional events are Tip a Cop, world's largest truck convoy, Cops on Top, golf tournaments, and two that will be coming to our area soon, the Fire Truck Pull and the Polar Plunge. The Fire Truck Pull is in October. It's held in Houston. Basically, there's teams of 12 people. It's $30 to enter per individual, and the event is considered the ultimate tug of war. Basically, they'll be pulling a fire truck which weighs about 47,000 pounds. So the team that does it the fastest, the team that raises the most money, first, second, and third place, all get a prize. The competitors accept donations and sponsors for this event. The next one is the Polar Plunge, which my daughter has participated in personally. It's held out of Galveston. It's actually in January. It's $60 to participate per person. So the fact that it's in January should tell you why it's called the Polar Plunge. Basically, as many people as you want can run in your heat. Each individual business or group of people run by themselves. So if you have a school that signs up and you have 50 people, those 50 people run to the water together and plunge into the freezing cold water to help raise money for Special Olympics. So these, all the money raised in these events are used to provide year-round sports training and competitions for over 2,000 athletes in the Gulf Coast area, so it's all local. The last and what makes the most impact on the children, the special needs children, what I consider, is called Meet in the Middle. It's developed by Special Olympics and the U.S. Department of Education together for year-round acceptance and improvement. This program is in its 5th year. The club or program is at schools. It encourages typically developed students and special needs students to have a greater understanding for each other. It promotes youth leadership, unified sports, and whole school involvement. I hope I provided you with a little bit of insight on Special Olympics, the volunteers, their purpose, and what a large impact they do make in the lives of athletes with special needs locally and worldwide. Thank you.